If anybody needs the worst contractors that have ever walked the earth, I have a contact for you, by the way. All right, one card, one on the bottom for David. Seed of the Synod, Mishra's Bauble, and Emery, Teller of Tales or something. Thought Monitor, Mishra's Bauble, Thoughtcast, and Force of Will. Eddie the Intern, not a fan of all the legendary creatures of Magic having their name, a comma, and then another description of some kind. Eddie the Intern not having it. Flooded Strand enters for Eric.
Go ahead.
I'll play. I have a response.
Red Gift Sub Badge Harry Houdini is here wondering, is it Wednesday? No, Harry, it's Tuesday. What time zone are you in?
Well, I guess I'll respond to after the trigger response.
Yeah, the Force of Phil versus Eddie the Intern Magic Lore podcast is something we got to get started somehow. I should just make them make a podcast. All right, here's Shadow Spear and here's Thoughtcast. Yeah, no stream tomorrow. My schedule won't allow for a stream tomorrow, unfortunately, so we're streaming today. Everybody relax. It's going to be fine. All right, so Eric finds an Underground Sea. It's safe to say this is not manaless Dredge, it turns out.
Yeah, like after all these, you're like, I don't want to have fun.
I have 5 artifacts. I have 5. Paying 2. Sacrificing the Lotus Petal.
Yeah, at this point in the game, it does look like Doomsday, doesn't it? And it looks like we just hit a brainstorm. Okay. When we hit X amount, we get the Phil versus Eddie podcast. I think we're looking at 1,000 subs. If 90s MTG is going to fund it, that is.
Well, these two things are going on top.
Brainstorm.
All right, 2 go back on top. And what is that? I don't know what card that is. I'm stumped. What was that?
And then during my...
Okay, Golgari Thug and 2 Bridges from Below. Otherworldly Gaze, Surveil 3. Oh, okay. Spicy. Thank you, Kentucky Fried. All right, a whole bunch of stuff has been dumped in the graveyard. I see a Stinkweed Imp, a Grief, Cabal Therapy. There's 2 Bridge from Belows. And an Icarid. Yeah, we saw some goblins earlier today on stream. Harry Houdini, thank you for the gift sub. 34 now for Harry Houdini. Appreciate that. Where's the Saga ticks up to 2. No stream tomorrow.
Listen to big comments in the judge, just like, that looks like crap. It's legal.
Another Urza Saga is played. Emery activated. Mishra's Bauble out of the yard.
Bottom. What was the other one? Oh, 36. Oh, sugar results. But you don't have anything to do. Yeah. I was just wondering what it was. Do you have 3?
Are you floating in on that?
You got me?
Yep.
We may see some more goblins later. Stinkweed Imp is dredging here. Looks like Ashen Rider, Brainstorm, Polluted Delta, another otherworldly gaze, and a Narcomoeba enters the battlefield after being milled off the top.
Wasteland, probably not great in this matchup.
I had
2.
This is an interesting dredge build. Has anyone seen a build like this with otherworldly gaze before? I haven't really been keeping up on what Dredge is up to these days.
Okay.
Is this something that has been brewing in the Dredge Discord? I'm assuming there's a Dredge Discord, right? I don't know. Okay, it's normal in Modern Dredge. This is Hype Train Conductor Scott. Slick Judge is here. Grief pitching. Cabal Therapy.
Bump triggers on the stack. And
Pithing Needle, Thought Monitor, Double Chalice.
take the thought monitor. This dies. I get 2
Thought Monitor is chosen. Maybe we'll be able to start pumping out constructs. Some zombies get created after Grief dies.
For Dredge?
Some Evoke.
Anytime one of my creatures dies, I get a zombie. If one of your creatures dies, I exile the bridges from my graveyard.
That is how Bridge from Below works. I'll bring up the text on the screen. Sometimes I forget that Bridge from Below is not a card that people are familiar with. So Double Chalice of the Void and a Pithing Needle are in hand for David. What would you even needle in this game? Is there anything worth needling?
This is a very good matchup against Red Pink.
This is a discount.
Chalice on 1 seems mostly irrelevant at this point, right?
Oh, yeah. There's a brewer's advantage, but against, like, I don't even know what the fuck I'm supposed to do.
Nothing worth needling. I think we're in agreement on that. Yeah, you're telling me. David M is in the chat. Pew pew. I'm trying to figure out what the heck is going on here myself. Cabal Therapy. Targeting themselves. Stickweed Imp dumped into the yard. The hand is revealed to have Hogak, Narcomoeba, Breakthrough, Icarid, and Golgari Thug. A Breakthrough now hitting the stack. Needle the Cave Troll's regeneration. I mean, that's something. I don't know if you're going to be that excited about it, though. All right, some dredging happening.
It's 5. Grave Troll 1. Coliseum.
All right, now there's a Golgari Grave Troll in the yard, which dredges 6. Narcomoeba trigger.
Grave Troll, 2 Stinky, 3 Rainforest, 4 Underground Sea, 5 Underground Sea, 6 Bridge from Below.
Okay, so now a 3rd Bridge from Below is in the graveyard. Can you needle Street Wraith? You actually can needle Street Wraith. You haven't seen Street Wraith make an appearance in this game yet. So Hogak is in the yard. Hogak can be cast using Convoke and Delve. And you can't spend mana, so.
Go to the graveyard.
Attack for 2 to Jade. And I will pass it on to you. I gain 2.
I'm gonna convoke Hogak.
Okay, convoking Hogak now. This is interesting.
3, 4, 5. Those are all exiled.
Exiled some non-dredge creatures. Hogak comes in.
I am not going to make a contract this time. This goes to 3 triggers.
Go ahead. And the turn, make a turn? Yeah.
End of turn, make a construct.
Just be the last one. Like in case like I don't drop you.
Both Urza Sagas will tick up now. One of them will pop. We'll see if David decides to make another construct. Is Relic of Progenitus a thing in Legacy sideboards? It does appear in some Legacy sideboards for sure. I'd say Soul Guide Lantern more frequently.
Sometimes you just take your shot, right? As this deck. Good.
Yeah. I'll play an island and...
Oh, yeah.
1 second.
Blast piercing. Getting in blast.
I will play Petal.
Sure.
I will improvise.
All right, I'm back.
He's gonna trigger off it. Yeah.
You have 2 chalices and a needle in hand, is that right?
Yes.
I'm gonna sack the pedal to equip the construct,
Yeah, that makes sense.
and then
I pass
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
I'll bring
7.
back
It's an 8/8.
I'll bring back the pedal as an 8 So it's a 9/9 and this is an 8/8.
Yeah.
9/9 construct, equipped with Shadow Spear. Not bad.
Dredge. At 6. Skull turn 1.
Where is the advantage bar right now, Jad? Is it all the way over to the left, all the way over the right, somewhere in the middle? Where are we?
Right through 5.
I knew something was coming.
Brainstorm 6.
I feel like it's somewhere in the middle, but I'm not sure.
I'm new to this deck, so. Me too. I'm messing. No, I'm new to this deck. I should be returning Icarid.
Is that the one where you get to sack or
I exile
a
another
creature from the
black
graveyard?
creature. Yeah, but it happens to my
Alright.
so I'm missing those triggers.
Yeah.
Bridge from Belows are still there in the yard. Narcomoeba attacks.
Yeah, I think I would have.
What will this next Urza Saga find, I wonder?
This is a learning experience.
Another insect.
Here you go.
Second lease on life.
Yeah, that's true. I gotta stack it better. So I
Pay
got
2.
to.
That's the charge here.
It seems like Twitch chat agrees it's in the middle, leaning to the right, maybe. David currently has the advantage. Oh no, the score is wrong. This is actually game 1. Sorry about that.
It's clearly a playable legacy card. The click.
Come on, people. Nobody noticed the score was wrong and can let me know?
The other cards are fine. I just
Gotta do everything around here.
figure out a way.
Yeah, the Saga's pumping out giant constructs will be a problem for Eric if it's can't be stopped. Milling a Dread Return will end things. Yeah, there is still an Ashen Rider in the yard, I believe. It's the gold card. About 6 cards from the bottom of the graveyard at this point. Robert saying if David can move the Shadow Spear around and attack, game is very hard for Dredge. I agree. But Ashen Rider could be a problem.
I don't think I can tell you about pre-modern, but I can tell you that you do not know what you're talking about Legacy.
As of right now, there are no flashback cards in the graveyard, it looks like. Just Icarids and Dredge creatures are in the graveyard that are of relevance. Emery does its thing. Cast Thought Monitor.
This was before that existed. So everyone was playing Bitter Blossom over Pirate Blossom back there.
Seed combat.
I think what you should have done
Probably not.
is
It's not a bot.
All right, going to combat.
10-10, this is a 9-9.
10-10 equipped with Shadow Spear and a 9-9.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 11, 10.
Okay, 11-11 and a 10-10. That's been corrected.
One of these zombies.
So, again, 11, you take 3.
Yep, and this will die, and this will die, and I'll get 3 terminus on top.
okay.
So you go to 30 terminus. I go to 16. Does that all resolve? That's so this is dead. I get 1. Would you like to cut before?
Yeah,
Do you want to cut before I put this on top?
okay. Sorry.
Okay, so Hogak blocked, absorbed a bunch of damage, and its death created some zombies. There are 3 Bridge from Belows in Eric's yard. I should have pointed that out when I was talking about relevant cards in the yard, actually. Forgot about that. All right, so Icarid doing its thing here. $50 sub badge. Dave Kaplan is here and jamming our coffee link in the chat. Thank you, Dave. All right, so it looks like 3 Icarids have just entered.
Give me the trigger.
And an Archamoeba as well. Another Golgari Grave Troll. There's Dread Return. So Dread Return is now in the graveyard. And we know about an Ashen Rider in the graveyard as well. 2 Golgari Grave Trolls is the hand for Eric as of right now. I think Eric got the trample damage.
Therapy using the summoning sick Archamoeba. I get 3 bridge triggers. Target you.
Oh, yeah.
All right, flashing back Cabal Therapy. 3 zombies get created.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying
Make sure like the last thing break the bank could go, but like if there's one in the northeastern, I don't think they'll just play where I'm gonna be
In your upkeep.
Twitch Shepherd exams game over.
I mean, you have to respond to it hitting the stack. If I name it, it's resolved.
Oh, okay.
You should hire him. Like I tried to hire him.
That's fine.
Okay.
Like without making it too weird. Yeah.
Okay, so 3 Force of Wills were just thrown in the trash after Force of Will was named, it seems. New coffee subscription from Dave. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate that. What's up, Dave?
All the rest of these.
Well, this is quite a board.
he was fanboy. It's been a bad look.
I'm gonna have to start using.
So there's plenty of zombies on the battlefield.
What's that? I have. Okay.
Decklists asked him if he knew me.
So I'm gonna sack 3 Icarids, getting 9
Very comforting to know.
zombie triggers.
Sacking 3 Icarids for 9 zombies. And I guess we're flashing back Dread Return here.
There.
You know, our Sumerian on this start.
Kentucky Fried starting to think Dredge should win this. Has the advantage bar swung all the way over to the left, chat? Dread Return, Ashen Rider.
He got robbed and also mugged. Almost mugged.
This will be exiled. When this comes into play, I'm gonna trigger targeting the Shadow Spear. Shadow Spear will be
No, they
exiled.
don't tell you till the day of.
Shadow Spear is now exiled. It's pretty good for Eric. All right, looks like David is scooping it up. Seen enough. Going on to game 2. Wired Hyena says it's now very over for Raidcast. I agree. It seemed to just get out of hand. Eric with plenty of zombie tokens. Look at that, everybody. Shout out to Iron City Trades and Scott, our gift sub and cheerleaders for this month. Appreciate that. One card goes on the bottom for Eric.
Okay.
Make another
See to the sign-on pass. All right, not a very exciting turn 1 for David. Grief pitching Icarid.
It's like a minerals disc mono white control that you get like ivory mask.
Island, Emery, Thoughtcast, Chalice, Psy, Fairy, Macabre. Macabre. What will Eric choose? Is this a good hand? I don't know. All right, the fairy knocked out. Cabal Therapy.
Name Stinkweed.
Target themselves. Name Stinkweed Imp. It is now in the graveyard. The rest of the hand is Island and Narcomoeba. So, Big Dredger Stinkweed Imp is now in the yard for Eric. Chalice on 1 has been cast. Would have been nice last turn.
I will use my draw to Dredge Stinkweed. So it's Dredge 5.
All right, Dredge 5. Breakthrough, Cabal Therapy, Stinkweed Imp, pretty good. Blue card that I don't recognize, and Breakthrough. What was that blue card?
Who named it? It's very like that thing is called Zergo Man.
Was that Otherworldly Gaze again? Does anybody know? Narcomoeba has been cast. Stern Dismissal, says Wired Hyena. Getting big help from the chat today. Interesting. Wow, power creep on unsummon, huh?
I need to be cured of chronic fatigue. I really would just play Yu-Gi-Oh or something.
No, the way to get cured is just to work like dominant. All right, Emery enters. David doing their own milling here. Mox Opal, Lotus Petal, Thought Monitor, and an Urza Saga.
Sure, nothing matters. That's my favorite.
Yep.
Psy comes in. Thopters will be helpful, I think. That's the turn. Dredge Stinkweed Imp once again. Cephalid Coliseum. Another Stinkweed Imp it looked like. Brainstorm, Scalding Tarn, and another Coliseum. So Eric's hand right now is just double Stinkweed Imp.
Probably last time I can do that. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's probably the last time Narcomoeba will get to attack successfully. Emery activated. Mox Opal. That'll trigger Psy.
Like one word to get Rob Monster. Okay, that's a new. Okay, great. Oh, that's one of them. Great. So look at this slam dunk card now.
This goes to 2.
Aragorn and Arwen. Period. Okay. Aragorn and Arwen, comma wed.
Do you know what I did?
How much weaker is this card? Everyone knows they're married. The flavor text says they're married. They're like this.
Cast resolves. Stern Dismissal also for Urza Saga. That makes sense. Could bounce an Urza Saga. Uses an enchantment. Another Thoughtcast. Urza's Bauble comes in. Another Thopter.
This is the worst Magic card in terms of top-down design in history. His name is not Hit Rock. He's from Hit Rock. Hit Rock is just what Commander players call him. His character is that named Hit Rock.
You can hear Eddie the intern complaining about lore in the background.
Right. Just like intern. No, nobody calls me Brooklyn. No, but like, it's just so ebb and death common.
Yeah, it was crazy last night. Eddie the intern and Force of Phil screaming at each other at the top of their lungs about lore.
I know what's in your hand.
I had to get between them, guys. It's just a game. It's just stories. It's not real. Relax. It was crazy.
Number 662, Neo Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon. It's like when that's what my alternative is here.
Another Stern Dismissal dumped into the bin. Brainstorm, Icarid, and Bridge from Below. So now Bridge from Below is in the yard. 3 Stinkweed Imps in hand. Not a lot going on right now for Eric. Sacking to Cabal Therapy. Make a zombie. Chalice Remembered.
What's up with the Titans? Is not supposed to be. Maybe that's a new type. The secret fourth
Dude, I
type.
love the new legendary Eldrazi. I think it's such a great new design spice. I really love it. It's so good. Yeah, honestly, it's very great for that.
It's so controversial and great.
I know, right? I really appreciate it. Just like going into this really great design space. Of
I know, it's so creative.
Of giving things double.
It's just
Break down barriers. They tried about
Target Thumb Monitor?
what's the melt Eldrazi?
Riesela is just what people call it because it's Riesela and
yeah.
combined into one thing.
Another Thought Monitor.
Zachary and Lodon combined into one creature.
Lots of Thopters on David's side. Looks like Eric came a bit more prepared with tokens than David did. David using a die to keep track of Thopters, but Eric with plenty of zombie tokens of all varieties. Something to write in the notes.
Down, combined mana base.
It's just a bunch of people. Like,
Vantage bar to 8 cast, says Orcan Man. I think I agree. Odawara on Chalice? Can you bounce your own things with Odawara? I can't remember.
And they had the Power 9
With the one.
Okay, Grafdigger's Cage comes in.
with Ephemerate and Charming Prince and I don't know. But no, I think it was
Yeah, you can. I would have had to read the card to check.
and they started getting 6 cards in deck.
All right, looks like we're going to game 3. It looks like Eric has mulliganed. And 1 card has gone on the bottom. So mulligan to 6 for Eric. David appears to have kept 7. Underground Sea. Careful Study. All right, let's see if David reacts to that. I think I'm countering it. If I'm David, yep. Force of Will pitching Emery. So some interaction. Nicely done.
Are you playing that in paint?
no.
AI failed again.
It's like staff of the storyteller. It's so cool.
There's a Saga comes in. Lotus Petal comes in. Mishra's Bauble comes in. Mox Opal comes in. And a pass.
AI card.
When it's deal damage, you drop.
Oh, look at that.
Sounds good, bro. Again.
It wouldn't make any creatures of that. 10 levels beyond busted.
So this one was.
Another Careful Study just hit the stack. This one will resolve. Discarding Bridge from Below. Okay. And Icarid. No Dredger in the yard. No Dredger. That's big news. Pretend I have no Dredger flashing on the screen right now. There is no Dredger in Eric's yard, everybody. This is exciting. Saga takes up to 2. Seat of the Synod.
Here's what I would have deposed in that. So he figures out that it's not a word they can right? In a way that she's going to
Looks like 2 cards left in Eric's hand. That careful study needed to be good. Yeah, jam some emotes if you're going crazy right now because there's no Dredge card in the graveyard for Eric. All right, a construct has been created. Mishra's Bauble activated.
Urbask was really like not participating in the invasion. At the end of your turn.
Otherworldly gaze.
Yeah, so
All right, end of turn, Otherworldly Gaze. So Surveil 3. Looks like a Stern Dismissal or an Otherworldly Gaze and a Grief were just put into the graveyard. Still no Dredger in the yard that I see. Icarid comes in. Pitch Grief. Potentially could get Bridge from Below going here. Flashback of Otherworldly Gaze. Okay, I guess this is before draw step.
but he gets like super fucked up by it. So there's a blue.
Force Pitch Psy on Otherworldly Gaze getting flashback. Wow.
That's what I would have. So it's easy for them to kill him because he loses his like hunter's instinct.
Cephalid Coliseum comes in.
Take 1.
Okay, Cern Dismissal on Urza's Saga. Power Creeped Unsummon.
Who's around her. Right? And she's like, on paper, there's everything she's like mirroring his physically the entire person as being shot into a statue of her or something like that. Maybe it's like a giant neck that she pilots or something. But she's like doing all kinds of things.
1 bridge trigger.
All right, 1 Bridge Trigger. Make a zombie. Icarid in the graveyard.
You might be right.
Blocked by the Construct, which is currently a 4/4.
She dies completely unceremoniously. Same way she dies. Sort of like, you know what Cerebus is?
Do I know what?
Cerebus? Oh yeah, Cerebus. The comic series by Dave. Oh yeah. It started out as like one
Urza Saga comes back in. Gets a counter. Chalice on 1. Pretty good. That'll stop Cabal Therapy. That'll stop Otherworldly Gaze. That'll stop Stern Dismissal. That'll stop a lot of it. Attacking for 5.
But the whole story.
I ignore the Icarid trigger.
Ignoring Icarid. Leaving it in the graveyard. I don't think there's any creature even to exile for it at the moment. I don't think so.
A suicide or something they would ever consider in a storyline. Attack. You know, there isn't a lot of otherwise like some violence, yeah.
But for any character to do it, it should be her. I feel like. Or like they arrive in her. Sometimes she's become decomplete.
All right, zombie gets in for an attack. Urza Saga will take up to 2, so potentially creating more constructs. Looks like advantage bar is on the right side at this point in the game. No Dredge creature was found yet. which is a big reason why. All right, creating a construct now.
7. And they count 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Attacking for 7. Next attack could be lethal. Yeah. Are there 7 cards in the yard? Oh, I guess they are. Okay, so there are 7 cards in the yard, so Threshold is on. I missed that. Good job, chat.
Draw 3, you can spill 3 to one color.
Draw 3, discard 3.
Yeah.
No cards in hand, so... Is there a Dredge creature in there? Ah, Fair Macabre will tag something here. Let's see what.
You're your own person. You hate these people. Why are you working with them? You know you're right.
Stinkweed Imp. Alright, so now there's back to no dredgers in the yard. Activating Coliseum once again. It was Imp plus Troll. Okay. So Cabal Therapy in the yard now, but no dredger, and that is a fist bump. That ends the match. Nicely played.